What's up, guys? Today we are reacting to Tupac's death. Let's get into it.
Biggie's death shocked the rap game back in the 90s, and years later, the cases still aren't solved. Today, we're breaking down the crazy theories about who took out the greatest rappers of all time. Before we dive into who killed Biggie and Pac, we have to take a look at how they went from being homies
Wow, that's crazy. I personally think Tupac died in a shooting.
to sparking the biggest war in rap history. Tupac was already popping off back in 93, while Biggie was just getting started. Even though the East vs. West Coast war is over now, there's still some tension, but back then, there weren't any issues. Biggie flew out to LA and asked a dope dealer to introduce him to Pac. And when Big rolled up to the spot, Pac was playing his first hit, Party and Bullshit. There was already a lot of respect between them, and they ended up getting tight super fast. They would hit the stage together in New York, and Big would even crash on Pac's couch when he was in LA.
Wow, that's crazy. I would have never guessed that. That's crazy. That is simply crazy.
Before Biggie started his Junior Mafia crew, Pac allegedly wanted him to join his Thug Life collective. Biggie turned him down to make his own lane, but at one point he actually asked Pac to become his manager. Biggie and Pac could have taken over the entire game together, but then
Why would he put that finger up? That's not very nice.
everything changed after Pac was shot in New York. In 94, Pac went to Quad Studios.
What? Pac got shot? But he has so much merch. Oh, I was right. Haha.
Biggie and Diddy to record a feature for a dude named Lil Sean. Lil Sean's manager was a dude named Jimmy Henchman, and Biggie knew being around him would cause drama. He warned Pac to stay away from Henchman, but Pac didn't listen, and what happened next is what made everything fall apart. According to a dude named Dexter Isaac, Henchman paid him $2K to rob Tupac that night at Quad Studios.
He got paid 2,000 to rob him. I would do the same, man. For 2 grand to rob him, I would do the same. Respect.
When Pac walked into the lobby, he got ambushed by 3 dudes and ended up getting shot 5 times. Nobody knew who was behind it back then.
Ooh, he survived 5 bullets. He's a pretty tough guy. Wouldn't want to run into him.
But Pac started blaming everyone. He thought Biggie might have set him up, and Biggie's track Who Shot Ya just made everything worse. Big denied that the track was about Pac, but that didn't stop Pac from taking it personally. At that point, they still could have squashed it and moved on. All they needed was a conversation to clear everything
Ooh, did Biggie kill Tupac? Maybe.
up. But then Suge Knight got involved, and there was no going back. Suge jumped in the situation to bail Pac out of jail and sign him to Death Row Records. He knew that the drama would sell records, so at the 95 Source Awards, he went on stage to diss Diddy and set off the entire war. Questlove said that it felt like a bomb was about to detonate that night, and within a month, someone had already been killed over it. A dude from Death Row named Big Jake was killed in Atlanta, and Diddy's homie Anthony Jones was allegedly the shooter. Then Snoop Dogg's trailer got shot up while he was shooting a video in New
Love Snoop Dogg. Smoke weed every day. Love Snoop Dogg, keeping it real.
York, but luckily no one got hit. By that point, the war was already active, but Pac put it in the spotlight when he dropped the track Hit 'Em Up and aired out Biggie and the whole East Coast with lines like, "First off, fuck your bitch and the clique you claim. West Side when we ride, come equipped with game. You claim to be a player, but I fucked your wife. We bust on bad boys, niggas fuck for life. Plus,
Ooh, this is fire, bro.
weak hearts are ripped.
This is fire.
Balls and Junior Mafia, some mark-ass bitches." There are rumors that Pac only went so hard with the beef and recorded so much music because he was afraid of Suge and wanted to get away from Death Row. So he wanted to get his contract over.
Oh, he was gonna get electrocuted in the chair. Man, maybe that's how he died. Maybe he was in a chair.
And that's why he might have been killed in Vegas. Pac and Suge went to Mike Tyson's fight at the MGM, and after it was over, they jumped to crib
Oh.
named Orlando Anderson
Who's winning the fight? Mike Tyson or Jake Paul? If you're gonna ask me, probably Jake Paul.
in the hotel lobby. Then, just a few hours later, they were driving down the strip when a car pulled up and started letting off shots. Some people think
Maybe Mike Tyson killed Tupac. That would make so much sense.
Orlando Anderson wanted to get back at Pac for the beating, but others say Suge knew Pac was trying to leave and had him killed. Losing Pac was a tragedy. And then, just a few months later, Biggie was murdered in LA, and the situation got even more complicated. When Pac died, Biggie hired a full-time security team because the streets were so hot, but his new bodyguards still couldn't keep him safe in LA. He was in town for
Maybe his bodyguards killed him. That would make so much sense. Killed Biggie.
music awards and decided to stay an extra day for an after party the next night. Big, Diddy, and the rest of Bad Boy Records left the spot at around midnight and got caught up in traffic outside. The whip Diddy was in ran the red light and left Biggie and everyone else behind. and that's when an Impala rolled up and started shooting into Biggie's SUV. In less than a year, the rap game had lost
Maybe he should. Maybe good thing he stopped at the lights. Respect.
both of its best artists, and that's when the conspiracy theories started getting wild. One of the most popular theories is that Diddy had Tupac murdered so that Bad Boy Records could take over the game. He also allegedly knew that Pac would think Biggie's track Who Shot Ya was aimed at him and would help spark the war. Pac and Biggie's beef definitely helped both sides sell
That does make sense. That does make sense though.
records. And some people think Diddy actually had Big killed because he saw how many Tupac albums sold after he was killed. The biggest piece of evidence that backs the story up is how Diddy ran the red light and left Biggie alone right before he was shot.
Biggie ran the red light. Well, he deserved it then. You can't be doing that. That's a crime.
When everything first went down, most people thought it was just rap beef that got out of control. But then a detective named Russell Poole started investigating the case and discovered a wild conspiracy involving crooked cops. Poole accused a cop named David Mack and his homie Amir Muhammad of killing Biggie. Mack is from the same part of Compton as Suge, and an informant named Psycho Mike told Poole about Mack's friend Amir. It seemed like Poole was close to solving Big's death, but then some info came out that put major holes in the story. It turns out that Psycho Mike earned that name for a reason, and when his police testimony leaked, everyone realized he couldn't be trusted. During the interview,
Because he's a psycho. Because he's named Psycho Mike. Because he kills people.
he told Poole that the shooter used a machine gun and ran off into a limo, which wasn't even close to how it actually went down. Plus, he never actually named Amir Muhammad, but Poole still ran with the idea that he was involved with the hit. Amir Muhammad's name has been cleared from the case, but that doesn't mean his friend David Mack didn't have something to do with Biggie's death. He's one of the most famous crooked cops in LA, and a few years before Biggie died, he killed an alleged drug dealer and planted a gun on him. Then, just a few months after Big died, Mack and his girlfriend hatched a plot to rob a bank and steal $700K.
Why would they rob a bank? I don't see. They would have inherited the money. Makes no sense.
His own girl flipped on him though, and Mack went down for 14 years over the case.
Yes. Get him.
Just because Mack is a dirty cop doesn't mean he killed Biggie though. And another detective thinks he finally solved the case. We can't say for sure what happened because some of the key people have already been murdered.
Just ask Biggie.
But this is the wild story of how it allegedly went down. According to Detective Greg Kading, Diddy is the one who put out a hit on Pac. Rumors say he tried to take Suge and Pac out at the same time to end the war and take over the entire gang. But Suge ended up just getting grazed by a bullet that night and survived. Kading didn't have a lot of evidence to prove that Diddy put the bag on Pac's head, but he might have actually solved Big's murder. We don't know who pulled the trigger on Pac, but whoever it was dealt a major blow to the West Coast, and there was one dude in the game who was never going to let it go. Suge Knight. Pac was the face of Death Row when he died. Dre and Snoop helped make it successful.
Love Snoop.
Pac and his image was the new wave for the label. And according to Kading, Suge started planning his revenge as soon as Pac died. We know Suge wasn't actually there when Biggie got killed because he was already in jail. But Kading says he used his girlfriend to put the green light on Biggie. 12 years after it went down, Kading interviewed her about it and she had tears in her eyes because of how afraid she was of Suge. Suge is one of the scariest dudes in the history of the rap game.
He doesn't look that scary. I reckon I could beat him in a fight.
He didn't know how to make deals without using violence, and even his own employees were terrified of him. Right now, he's locked up for killing his own homie in 2015. Plus, there are rumors
What?
he's been involved in all kinds of murder and assault cases. According to Kading, Suge's girlfriend acted like she was a legal assistant so their jail meetings couldn't be recorded. Suge made her contact a Mob Power affiliate named Poochie, and he's the one who allegedly rolled up on Biggie and killed him. It seemed like the case was almost done, but there was one major problem. Kading had a strong witness, a story that made sense, and the name of the alleged shooter, but it was all too late. By the time he knew Poochie's name, Poochie had already been dead for years. In 2003, Poochie was shot 10 times and killed, and nobody ever had the chance to interrogate him. Kading's story still holds up,
Ooh, maybe Tupac killed him.
though, and an OG with the Mob Power rules confirmed it. Mob James told DJ Vlad that Poochie was a savage and everyone knew he was a shooter.
Was Poochie known as a shooter?
Yeah.
Ooh, that makes sense. But who is that guy? Does he know him?
He was a hitter for real, for real.
Obviously, nobody around Death Row was gonna snitch about it though, so it took everyone else decades to find out the info. Pac and Biggie's cases will probably never be officially closed since so many people involved have already died or refused to talk. But for now, Kading's theory about how everything went down makes the most sense. Maybe one day, we'll get more concrete answers though.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. Hopefully they didn't actually die. So guys, if you enjoyed, make sure to like, subscribe, and peace.